Hello friends, welcome to my channel Learn with Neeraj Garg. Once again brought a new video here on MongoDB. In this video what we are going to do is we are going to cover MongoDB Aggregation framework. So what we are going to cover in this video, we are going to cover what is MongoDB Aggregation framework, why it is required, and then hands-on part also we will cover. And to cover this part we are going to have MongoDB Compass, which we have already discussed in previous videos. So I would encourage you, if you are new to MongoDB, please watch my other videos also so that you can come to know about MongoDB. It's a very popular NoSQL database. So let us see why part first, right? So in SQL, if we talk about SQL, we have joins, we have different operations like sum operation, group by, right? And so many operations are there. But in MongoDB, it was not there earlier, right? It was not supporting joins. Now it has started supporting joins. All the functions like sum, right, group, count, average, and many more. Now these functions can be there in MongoDB also. So now it is no longer, it is supporting this. So joins also can be done using lookup, right? So in MongoDB these are called as stages. This we are going to see in the hands-on section of this video, but for now you just assume that this is why part, right? Now let us look at the what part of this. So in this basically it supports operations like sum, group by, it has match where condition, right? It is equivalent to where of SQL, and then it is again sum. We can find out max, min, right, average. So it has a function called, it is available in two formats. One is MapReduce and then another one is aggregation. So in this video we are not going to talk about this MapReduce, which is kind of older version of this, and aggregation has much more power than MapReduce. Let us look at the demo part of aggregation framework now. So I hope you have understood what and why part of aggregation framework. This demo will make aggregation framework more clear to you, right? So first let me show you the mapping of SQL with aggregation framework functions, right? So as you can see that for where we have match, group by, we have group having match, right? For sum we have $sum, right? So on. And for join we have $lookup, right? So this is how we can use MongoDB aggregation framework. So based on my experience working with MongoDB aggregation framework, I have figured out that there are some stages, right, or some stages in the pipeline, aggregation pipeline, which are most widely used, right? I'm going to share with that. Match is the most widely used, right? Now why match? Because it is equivalent to where, right? So let us say we have a billion of records or million of records in our database collection, right? And we do not want to reduce it to couple of records or hundreds of records, right? We want to filter out on something, so match works for that, right? Then project, we do not want to fetch all the fields from different pipelines, right? So we want to move from one pipeline to another pipeline, right? Or one stage to another stage, and we want to select only the selected fields rather than tens or hundreds of fields which are there in the collection or which may be returned as a part of lookup also. And then group is also a key function, right? In aggregation, we want to group the number of records. Let us say we have a users collection, then we have a friend. We want to see the number of friends by each user, or we want to find out top 10 users who have maximum number of friends, right? So that kind of queries with the cannot be run without having group in place, right? So group is also most widely used in uh, aggregation framework. Then lookup, definitely it helps us to join multiple tables. In earlier videos we have seen that joins, it is a NoSQL database, and joins is not supported, but now we are seeing that joins is supported, right? Because right, different database designers design database in a different way, and one design does not fit into all scenarios, right? Different use cases may have requirement to store data in different tables rather than having data stored in only one collection, right? So in those kind of scenarios, it was must to have some way, right, where the lookup can be performed or join can be performed amongst multiple tables. That I would personally not recommend that you should make it a practice that whatever design is there in SQL should also be replicated exactly the same way in NoSQL. So that will defeat the whole purpose of having NoSQL database, right? So lookup or joins should be avoided as much as possible, right? The design should be simple, right? So we are going to see in future videos that how to design a data model, but for now this is what you can grasp from this particular video. Then what we are going to see, right, I'm in the hands-on section. I'm going to use MongoDB Compass, right? Let me show you what kind of data we are looking into for sample queries, and I will show you the sample queries also here. It is zip code data which is available in the MongoDB official documentation. How does the data look like, right? That we are going to see here. So it has ID field, right, and then city, state, population, and then location, right, which is coordinates of that particular location, right? Now moving on. So it says that now the first query is return states with populations above 10 million, right? Now, using this table or using this collection, right, where we have data similar to this, right, state, city, state, population, we have to find out states with population above 10 million, right? So, if you look at just the SQL part, you will have to apply group by, right? You will have to group by state, right? And then you will have to also uh, sum the pop or population, right, once we have grouped by, right? So this is kind of use of group, right? And then the here in the previous query itself we are also showing the states where the population, right, the sum of population of those that particular state has crossed 10 million, right? We want to show only those states. So if you have guessed it correctly, we will have to use match also, right? So here return average city population by state. So here what we are saying that again group by state, but now we are returning average city population, not by state but city population, right? We have to sum it and we have to find out average city population by state, right? So a state may have 10 cities, right? We want to publish those results. Then moving on, return largest and smallest cities by state, right? So inside a state we want to see which of the city has largest population and which of the city has smallest population or lowest population, right? So we want to group the states, right, again by cities also we will have to apply that. Let us see this in action using MongoDB Compass. I have already imported the zips collection downloaded from MongoDB official documentation, right? The link is given in the comment section of this video or description section of this video, right? So where you can go and download the data for your practice purpose, right? And I will also write down the queries also here, right? So first let us try to find out return states with population above 10 million. So here you can see the documents, right? It has above 29,000 of records, right? And total size is 2.6 MB, right? Average document size is this, indexes are there, right? And aggregation tab is also there, right? This shows that exact number of documents in this collection. If you look at this, it has different stages. Now this particular block, it shows that this is the stage which we want to select, right? It has different stages mentioned here, different stages of aggregation pipeline, right? And then we have here we have sample mode, auto preview mode, and comment mode. First thing which we want to do here is that if you look at underscore id, right, I want to group by state, right? If you look at the data, we have a state field here, right? And then this is the variable which I have used, right? If you see, there is no such variable in the original data, right? Total population, what I want to do with that, right? I want to sum of what? I want to sum, basically I want to perform sum on pop field, which represents population field, right? And as soon as I write something here, let me remove this, right? And it has thrown me error, right? No preview documents, it is showing on the right hand side. If I disable it, and you can see here that I won't be able to see the preview, right? Auto preview. If I enable it, it will show me. As soon as I change it, it will show me the preview here, right? So this way I can see first what we have to do is we have to group by, right? I am grouping it by state, right? And then I'm calculating what I'm calculating, right? I'm calculating the sum of all the populations for that particular state, right? Now if you look at this query, can you guess that what could be the next step? Next step is, now we want to filter out, right, where the population is beyond 10 million. Now you see what we have done is we have used match stage here, right? So to add a new stage, simply click on add stage and it will add. You can delete this, you can add stage below, or right, we can do that part. So here what we have done is this total pop, if you see here, total pop variable is taken or carried forward to the next stage, and here we are using standard function of MongoDB, right? So it says that 10 million, right? And it shows us output after match stage, right? Sample of 7 documents, right? So earlier it showed us sample of 20 documents, right? Now it has shown us 7 documents because these are the states which have population, right, above 10 million. Now let us remove 10 and see. Now you see it, there are many states which have population more than 1 million, right? So I will again change it back, right? After this, what we can do is we can save this pipeline from here, save it, right? And we can do export to language, okay? This can be run on MongoDB shell, and here on the right hand side what we can do is we can use it in the node compatible or node compatible. If you see, it has changed the syntax a little bit, right? If I try to write Java based, right, it has given me the state like this. I can copy it and start using in my code. Or what I can do is I can create a new pipeline from here, or clone a pipeline, or new pipeline from text, right? In case I already have some pipeline written somewhere, right, I can copy from there and paste it here in this window. And this is the name of that, right? And this is how we can run basically aggregation queries using MongoDB Compass. I hope you understand this process. In case you have any doubt, please feel free to post your comments or queries in the comment section of this video, right? Let us move to next query. Return average city population by state, right? Just for the sake of time, I have saved that query also. Open pipeline, right? Now you see, first is group by, right? We are grouping by state and city both, because we want to have return average city population by state, right? So we will have to group by city and state. Right now it has given us the results like state, city, right? We want to do further, we want to find out average city population, right? In the next stage, again we are going to use group by, because we want to find out average city population, right, by state. So here by state, right, and average city population we are going to find out by. Now this is how we can validate, right? So we are filtering NV by state by NV, right, where state is equal to NV, right? And here what we are trying to do is it will show only the results for this particular state, right? Now if you look at this, right, here we are projecting it and it has found the average of all these populations, right? And you know how to find the average. I will save this pipeline. Now the thing is, I will not show you the result of third query, which is return largest and smallest cities by state. I want to leave this as an exercise for you, right? And I will post the answer to this query in the description section of this video, right? So I would encourage you to please write the query on your own, right? And in case you find any challenge, please let me know. I would be more than glad to help you out, right? So moving on. So I also feel that I should share the best practices with you. Try to include $match as first stage of aggregation pipeline, right? And always select the fields required in subsequent stage of the pipeline. For example, collection has 15, 20 or X number of fields, right? Always try to reduce the required fields which are going to be there in the subsequent stages, right, rather than moving on all the fields, right? Always use $project, and prefer to use lookup after the unwanted records are filtered out in the initial stages. It could happen that we have one table which is large enough, right, and if we perform lookup with the smaller table, right, without thinking of it, then it will be a performance kill for our queries, right? And it will be leading to frustration amongst the end users, right, because the results will be returning later to the user. So I hope this is not the exhaustive list of best practices, but this is what I follow, right? So always try to follow these kind of best practices while working on aggregation pipeline. Let us move on further. So this is the list of upcoming tools which I planned right in the coming weeks. It is setting up MongoDB multi-node clusters over AWS cloud. It can be done over other clouds also, but it is the same process, right? This is what we are going to see. We have already looked at MongoDB Compass, how to create a cluster quickly, right? But what if somebody does not want to use MongoDB Atlas? That also provides to host services on other cloud vendors, right? But they might feel that MongoDB Atlas is costly, though I don't feel that way, right? Because it is a fully managed service from MongoDB side. Then we will also touch upon sharding and replication, right, while setting up this multi-node clusters. And finally we are going to touch upon MongoDB data modeling also, right? This is also a very big topic and advanced topic, right? The performance of the queries or your database depends on how you model your database, right? How you select sharding, replication, and all those things. So this is what we are going to see in coming weeks, right? So in the end, thank you so much as always for watching my videos so far. Please keep sharing these videos with your friends, colleagues, right? uh, you can catch me on any of these social networking channels, right? You can consult me free of cost for student projects, right, or any consultation on research projects, right? I will be more than glad to assist or share my knowledge with you all. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. See you. Bye.